Hi guys, hey, welcome back out to the channel. Today we're doing it again. We are going to be talking about one of the 6 healing breaths. And as I said in one of my previous videos, I don't speak Chinese and apparently I'm tone deaf, so I'm going to do the best that I can. And the breath I'm going to talk about today is Huo. Okay, let's get started. One of the reasons why I spend so much time talking about breath is that somewhere along the line we changed how we breathe in response to the world around us. I mean, just take a few seconds here to just think about what's going through your head, and there's a ton of thoughts going through there. Some of them are fear, some of them are resentment, some of them are anger. Maybe one of your co-workers you felt was unjust or is just a jerk. There's a lot going on in our heads and pushing these emotions which cause us to breathe differently. In order to experience this emotion, your whole body has to participate. And what I mean by that is that your thoughts, your emotions, and your physical body has to participate in the emotion. So we are talking about the 4th of the 6 healing breaths. And let's take a minute to look at what this breath addresses from a Chinese medical perspective. So this healing breath deals with fast and hot qi. It also deals with full conditions and with dryness. So what do I mean? Qi is the energetics of life. It's that ephemeral spark that allows our body to animate and our lungs to breathe, our heart to beat. What can we point to and say that is the spark? There's nothing really. It's that God principle that science has been chasing after for centuries. So, the question becomes, how do, a few vitamins and minerals and proteins in a jar suddenly animate and become sentient? For Chinese medicine, it's qi. When I was growing up in rural America, I can remember waking up on those warm summer mornings and the air was clear, the temperature was perfect, there was still dew on the grass. And as the day progressed, the sun rose in the sky, and when it reached its zenith around noon to 2 p.m., the heat of the world would have become uncomfortable. And I'd seek relief from it indoors. But what happens when a drought hits the land and there's no water to help cool off the heat of the day? We've been getting to see what drought can do to the land. The infernos that have rocketed through California and the Pacific Northwest highlights what happens when there's too much heat and too little water. In fact, 2019 was a mercy year for the Pacific Northwest because it appears that the drought of the last 10 years may be over with, and thank goodness, because for once we had a summer without a raging inferno. That's what happens when qi gets hot and fast. And when it does get hot and fast, it can get dry like a drought. And instead of feeling exhaustion, the world feels pensive and worried, wondering if it's going to survive. The land gets hotter and drier and fires start to rage. The world suddenly uprooted and pushed into this dramatic action in order to try and survive. That is a full condition. And we can see this in Australia right now with the raging infernos that are going on there. Nothing has time to catch its breath. Everybody is just in full-blown panic trying to survive. And that is probably one of the best examples of fast, hot qi out of control. Full-blown panic and unable to focus on anything but trying to survive. That is probably the most compelling example of fast, hot, dry qi that's completely out of control. It doesn't start out as fast and hot qi. It takes time to get there. It's a process to get to that point of being out of control. So it's going to take time to unwind it. So what are some of the symptoms of fast, hot, dry qi in the body? And I think one of the easiest ways to think about fast hot qi is to think about ADHD. A lot of the symptoms that you see in ADHD are symptoms of fast, hot, dry qi. The anxiety, the depression, your mind is racing, it goes off in tangents, you have a hard time sleeping. And because fast and hot qi creates dryness over time, you can start to see symptoms like dry skin, a dry cough, heart palpitations. You might have difficulty staying focused. And these are all symptoms that are really similar to ADHD. Of course, you can also feel like a pressure in your head or in your upper body. And you might actually feel hot, and that usually happens in the evening. And when it really gets bad, your tongue might get sore. And you might get a bitter taste in your mouth, or you're experiencing chronic stress. You might have outbursts of anger and feel calmer afterwards. You can even get dizzy or fall. You're not firing well on all cylinders, and maybe you're not participating well in life. Your commitment to others may be negatively impacted. You might forget about your commitments with them, or you might try and avoid other people. And all these things just negatively impact our engagement with the world and cause us more loneliness and stress. Okay, so there's a lot going on with fast and hot qi, yet probably the easiest way to remember this one is that a lot of the symptoms that you experience with ADHD are similar to what happens with fast and hot qi. And then you can pop in high blood pressure with that, and chronic stress and anxiety. Okay, so we know what it is and what it addresses. But how do we form this magical breath? With this breath, you're going to form a small circle with your mouth, almost like you're about to whistle. And then relax your lips and gently exhale. Part of doing this breath is breathing. And so check out my video on the 3 things that you can do to improve your meditation, the one on breath, and that's going to give you some great breathing exercises in order to fully use your diaphragm and to give relaxed breaths. And as I mentioned earlier in this video, you cannot have an emotion unless your whole body's participating. So not only your emotions, but your mental attitude and your physical body, everything has to participate. So in order to make this breath successful, you're going to want to learn how to do relaxed breathing. Because if you're stressed out, and you do this with those short little panty breaths that we do when we're stressed, this isn't going to work. Part of doing this breath is breathing. So check out my video, 3 steps to improve your meditation breath, in order to gain some tools on how to do deep, relaxed breathing. Because when we're stressed out, we can't breathe deeply. The whole body has to participate in order to feel something. And you can't feel stressed if your breath is relaxed and even. The mind, the emotions, the body all have to participate in order to experience an emotion. If you do this breath or any of these breaths with that short, stuck in your chest, panty breath that we do when we're under stress, you won't feel any different. Really, it's that long, slow inhale that reaches to the bottom of our abdomen, followed by that long, gentle, relaxed, slow exhale that gets you quick results. Like any of these breaths, you can do them anywhere. And I've always found that I was at my desk working on something when I could feel my stress level rising. And what would be happening is I would try to complete one step, and as soon as I completed it, 3 more steps would pop up. So instead of moving forwards, I was moving backwards. So with this breath, you can do it 30 times. That's usually the norm, is let's do 30 breaths. But I find if I'm in front of my desk and my stress levels are rising, I can do this even as short as 10 breaths and I'm back to work. Okay guys, that's the episode for today. Thanks for coming out to the channel. And remember, hit the like and subscribe button. And until next time, I'll catch you on the other side.